But maybe let's shift gears to you half being starstruck because Sam Hill put us all in awe, some of these runs. And now you're actually engaging them to come onto your team where you guys have built a bike yourself, not a big name bike, not globally okay, so proven through Maddie, but I mean that's pretty awesome. Talk me, yeah. We segued a bit, but that's an exciting time for you as a team manager personally and for the brand.
Yeah, absolutely. So um, I was chatting to Sam. I think it was in Norway at the World Cup Finals in 2012. I think Stevie Smith won that race, um, and uh, Sam had been over and he said that the team looked good and he liked our bike and stuff. And I was like, cheers, that's nice of you. And then I'd say I was talking to Josh Bryceland, and then that didn't turn up. And I actually told my wife was at a race. I think it was at Leogang that year, and she said, "There's a lad that keeps walk." She doesn't really know who all the riders are. She said, "There's a lad that keeps walking past the pits, and he's looking in as if he's looking for you, and he's got a little baby and stuff." And I'm thinking, "What's she on about?" Anyway, it turns out it was Sam, and then I got chatting to him a bit, and then at Norway, I just said to him, "Well, joking like." So do you want to come and ride for us next year then, Sam? And Sam was like, have you got the budget? And I just, you know what he's like. He's quite dry and funny,
And he
isn't
would
he?
have said it in those few words, right? He's not
Oh
a
yeah,
he's
that
not a
was
man of
it.
many words.
No, no.
But when he
So then
says
I'm
something,
thinking,
it's either super funny or super sort of important.
yeah. So then I went home and I told my wife that. I said, that lad who you said was looking in the pits, then it's Sam Hill, and he's like, amazing. And so she said, well, what are you doing? Email him then. And I was like, do you think so? So anyway, I sent him an email to say, were you serious? And he came back and said, well, have you got budget? And I was like, how much budget do you need? So he told me. So then I rang my boss up and said, what do you think about, bearing in mind my ex-boss, Michael Cowan, who's been at Chain Reactions since he was 16, like the biggest downhill fan you'll ever meet in your life, like really good bike rider, race. I think he's pretty much raced every Masters Worlds for the last 300 years, but been racing mountain bikes way longer than I have. He said, Sam Hill. Yeah, I was like, yeah. He said, and obviously Michael is the person that, along with Chris Watson, who used to own Chain Reaction, are the people that allowed me to put the race team together and run it. 100% those guys that let me do this. But Michael's really cautious with money, always really doesn't waste money, doesn't spend a lot of money. And so my budget was always quite, minimal, and we had to, be careful with it. And to be honest, I always ran the team as if it was my money, not somebody else's money. I always tried to be as because I was grateful for them letting us do this. But as soon as Sam Hill was involved, all of a sudden the team budget was like, oh yeah, well maybe we can get some more money. So I've been, battling with my budget for flipping years. Anyway, Sam gave us this figure. Typical Michael said, well, why don't you offer him this much, which was way less, but I guess that's how businesses work. I'm like, I can't even ask him that. It was embarrassing. Anyway, long story short, we came to a figure that they were happy with, Sam was happy with, and then we agreed. And then I was like, oh shit, this is really happening. And then I started panicking, thinking, Christ, how am I going to manage Sam Hill? Oh God, what? And honestly, I was freaking out. And then, but as many people know, I'm literally the biggest winger you've ever. I'm not super organized, super like structured. I just wing it, and it seems to work out most of the time. but I've got so much passion for what I do. You know, I think that helps me. Anyway, so obviously he's still riding for Specialized, and I spoke to Sean, his ex team manager, who's his Monster team manager, saying you know Sam's going to ride for us, and but I couldn't say anything till his contract was up on the 31st of December. So obviously all the media people at Chain Reaction, who I dealt with, you know, I did this press release for them, and they did it all. And then the guy, Matt Cole, I think it was, he was going off on the Christmas holidays, so he had it all ready to go. Sent it off to all these people with an embargo for the 1st of January, and then just before New Year, I think it was between Christmas and New Year, some flipping little German media magazine posted Sam Hill's riding for Chain Reaction Cycles. So then I'm just getting phone calls and emails and people saying, what's all this about? And I'm like, oh my God. I was like, New Year's Eve, I was flat out flipping messaging people and apologizing and all this stuff. So anyway, that was a nightmare. But then it came out, and to this day, it's still the most media the team has ever got. And, you know, at the end of the day, is that what I'm trying to win races and get results, but to the end of the day, sponsors and race teams, is it more important to get more media than it is to win races? You tell me.